What if everything you've been told about self-care is keeping you weak? For years, you've been sold bubble baths, gratitude journals, and positive affirmations. You've been told to treat yourself, to be kind to yourself, to avoid discomfort at all costs. And yet, you still feel fragile, anxious, easily broken by life's smallest challenges. Today, you'll discover 7 ancient Stoic self-care habits that the 95% will never practice because they require discipline, not indulgence, strength, not softness. These are the practices that built emperors, philosophers, and unshakable men. By the end of this video, you'll understand why true self-care isn't about comfort. It's about forging a mind and spirit that cannot be broken. Watch till the end. The habit you skip might be the one that separates you from the weak majority. Let's begin. Marcus Aurelius wrote in Meditations, Book 5, 16, "Such as are your habitual thoughts, such also will be the character of your mind, for the soul is dyed by the thoughts." This wasn't written in a spa. This wasn't written during a retreat. This was written in a military tent during a plague, while leading an empire on the brink of collapse. Marcus understood something modern self-care culture has forgotten. True care for the self isn't about avoiding discomfort. It's about building a self worth caring for. Seneca echoed this in Letters to Lucilius, Letter 16. "No man can have a peaceful life who thinks too much about lengthening it." The Stoics weren't against self-preservation. They were against self-indulgence disguised as self-care. Here's the truth most people avoid. The reason you feel fragile isn't because you don't pamper yourself enough. It's because you've never trained yourself to endure. You've been taught that self-care means avoiding pain. But the Stoics knew that self-care means preparing for pain, so when it arrives, you're ready. The 95% practice self-care through escape, scrolling, binge-watching, shopping, numbing, distracting themselves from reality. The 5% practice self-care through discipline. They strengthen their mind. They confront discomfort. They build character that doesn't crumble under pressure. In this video, we'll explore 7 specific Stoic self-care habits that separate the resilient from the fragile. These aren't trendy wellness practices. These are ancient disciplines that create mental armor. These habits won't make you comfortable. They'll make you unbreakable. Let's examine each one, starting with the habit most people actively avoid because it forces them to face themselves. Habit 1. Daily voluntary discomfort. Train pain tolerance before life demands. Marcus Aurelius wrote in Meditations, Book 7, 64. "Very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself, in your way of thinking." The first Stoic self-care habit is this. Choose discomfort daily, on purpose. Before circumstances force it upon you. This is the practice Seneca called preparing the soul, and it's the opposite of modern self-care. Most people think self-care means avoiding anything difficult. Rest when tired, eat when hungry, sleep when comfortable, indulge every craving, eliminate every stressor. But this creates a fragile self, a self that collapses the moment life doesn't cooperate. The Stoic asks, what happens when you can't avoid discomfort? What happens when life throws hardship at you and you've never practiced enduring it? You break, because you've trained for comfort, not for reality. Voluntary discomfort is Stoic self-care because it prepares you for the inevitable. It builds resilience before you need it. Cold showers, fasting, early mornings, physical exertion, silence without distraction. These aren't punishments. These are training exercises. Every time you choose discomfort voluntarily, you send a message to your nervous system. I can handle difficulty. I am not fragile. I am in control. And when real hardship arrives, loss, betrayal, failure, pain your body and mind already know. We've been here before. We can endure this. Here's the problem this solves. The 95% collapse under pressure because they've spent their entire lives avoiding pressure. They've pampered themselves into weakness. They can't sit with hunger, so they overeat. They can't tolerate cold, so they never build cold resilience. They can't handle boredom, so they're addicted to their phones. And when life hits them with real pain, illness, death, rejection, failure, they have no tolerance. They shatter. But the 5% who practice voluntary discomfort daily, they've built a foundation of endurance. They've proven to themselves repeatedly that they can survive discomfort. Here's how to apply this tomorrow. First, take a cold shower. 2 minutes minimum. Focus on your breathing. Notice the discomfort. Notice you survive it. Notice you control your response. Second, fast for 16 hours. Skip breakfast. Sit with the hunger. Observe it. Don't obey every craving your body sends. Prove you're the master. Third, wake up 30 minutes earlier than usual. No snooze button. When the alarm rings, you move. Train your discipline muscle before the day begins. Fourth, sit in complete silence for 10 minutes. No phone, no music, no podcast. Just you and your thoughts. Most people can't do this. You will. Choose one. Practice it daily for 7 days, then add another. This is Stoic self-care, not because it feels good, but because it builds a self that can handle reality. Weak people avoid discomfort and wonder why they're anxious. Strong people seek discomfort and wonder why nothing shakes them. Weak people pamper their fragility. Strong people forge their resilience. You are not made of glass, but you become glass if all you practice is softness. But voluntary discomfort alone isn't enough. There's a second habit that transforms physical endurance into mental clarity. Let's move to Habit 2. Habit 2. Negative visualization practice, losing everything to appreciate what you have. Epictetus taught in Enchiridion. Section 3. With regard to whatever objects give you delight, are useful, or are deeply loved, remember to tell yourself of what general nature they are. The second Stoic self-care habit is this. Every day, visualize losing everything you take for granted. Then return to reality with gratitude. This is called premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of evils, and it's the most misunderstood Stoic practice. Modern self-care tells you to visualize success, manifest abundance, affirm prosperity, focus only on the positive. But this creates entitled thinking. You expect life to go well, and when it doesn't, you're devastated. The Stoic does the opposite. The Stoic visualizes loss. Not to be pessimistic, but to prepare emotionally and to recognize the value of what you have now. Seneca wrote in Letters to Lucilius, Letter 91, "He robs present ills of their power, who has perceived their coming beforehand." When you practice losing something in your mind, two things happen. First, you emotionally prepare for its potential loss. So, if it happens, you're not destroyed. You've already processed the grief in advance. Second, you return to the present moment with profound appreciation. You stop taking people, health, freedom, and peace for granted. This is true self-care, because it protects your mind from devastation and cultivates gratitude, the foundation of contentment. Here's the problem this solves. The 95% live entitled. They expect their health to last forever, their relationships to never end, their comfort to remain uninterrupted. And when loss inevitably comes, when someone dies, when health fails, when security vanishes, they collapse because they never prepared. But worse, they spent years taking everything for granted. They never truly appreciated what they had. They only noticed its value after it was gone. The 5% who practice negative visualization daily, they're prepared for loss, and they're grateful for presence. Here's how to practice this tomorrow morning. First, sit in silence for 5 minutes. Close your eyes, visualize your home burning down, everything gone. How would you feel? What would you miss most? Now open your eyes, look around, feel the relief. Everything is still here. This is a gift. Second, visualize a loved one dying. Your parent, your partner, your child. Imagine the funeral, the finality, the regret of words unsaid. Now open your eyes. They're alive. Call them today. Tell them what you'd regret not saying. Third, visualize losing your health, a sudden illness, chronic pain, loss of mobility. Imagine what you'd give to feel normal again. Now open your eyes. Move your body. It works. This is not guaranteed. Honor it. Fourth, visualize losing your freedom. Imprisoned, restricted, controlled. Imagine the weight of confinement. Now open your eyes. You can walk outside. You can choose. This is rare in human history. Don't waste it. This isn't morbid. This is wisdom. Weak people avoid thinking about loss until it destroys them. Strong people rehearse loss so it can't. Weak people take everything for granted until it's gone. Strong people appreciate everything because they know it's temporary. You don't own anything. You're borrowing time with people, health, and freedom. Negative visualization reminds you of this truth daily, but preparation and gratitude must be paired with one more element. There's a third habit that anchors your mind in what you can control. Let's move to habit 3. Habit 3. The dichotomy of control audit: release what you can't control, own what you can. Epictetus wrote in Enchiridion. Section 1. Some things are within our power, while others are not. Within our power are opinion, motivation, desire, aversion, in short, whatever is of our own doing. The third Stoic self-care habit is this. Every morning, audit your life. Separate what you control from what you don't. Release the latter. Own the former completely. This is the most liberating Stoic practice, and it's the one most people refuse to do because it forces them to admit how little they control. Modern self-care tells you to set boundaries, to manifest outcomes, to control your environment. But this creates anxiety because you're trying to control the uncontrollable. The Stoic understands you control your thoughts, your actions, your reactions. That's it. You don't control other people's opinions. You don't control outcomes. You don't control the weather, the economy, the past, or most of the future. And the moment you stop trying to control what you can't, you free up enormous energy to master what you can. Marcus Aurelius wrote in Meditations, Book 8, 47. If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it, and this you have the power to revoke at any moment. This is Stoic self-care, protecting your inner peace by refusing to waste energy on externals. Here's the problem this solves. The 95% are exhausted because they're fighting battles they can't win. They're trying to control other people, outcomes, circumstances, the past. They worry about things they have zero power over and neglect the things they do control, like their attitude, effort, discipline, and character. This creates chronic anxiety because they're spending mental energy on the uncontrollable while abandoning responsibility for the controllable. The 5% who practice the dichotomy of control daily, they're calm, focused, effective, because they've released what they can't change and committed fully to what they can. Here's how to practice this tomorrow. First, write 2 columns on a piece of paper. Column 1, what I control. Column 2, what I don't control. Second, list everything stressing you right now. Then sort each item into the correct column. My boss's mood, column 2. You don't control this, release it. My reaction to my boss's mood, column 1. You control this, own it. Whether I get promoted, column 2. You don't control the final decision. The quality of my work, column 1. You control your effort and excellence. Third, for everything in column 2, practice this phrase. This is outside my control. I release my grip on it. Fourth, for everything in column 1, practice this phrase. This is within my control. I take full responsibility for it. This daily audit protects your mental energy. You stop wasting power on things you can't change. You channel all your strength into what you can. Weak people try to control everything and collapse in exhaustion. Strong people control themselves and move mountains. Weak people blame externals for their suffering. Strong people own their response and eliminate suffering at its source. You can't control life, but you can control you, and that's more than enough. But even with controlled clarity, there's a 4th habit that most people actively resist because it requires confronting mortality. Let's move to habit 4. Habit 4. Memento mori, journaling. Write as if today is your last. Marcus Aurelius wrote in Meditations, Book 2. 11. Think of the life you have lived until now as over, and, as a dead man, see what's left as a bonus and live it according to nature. The 4th Stoic self-care habit is this. Every evening, write in your journal as if you might not wake up tomorrow. Reflect on your day. Ask, did I live with virtue? Did I waste time? Did I act with courage? This is memento mori journaling. Remember death, not someday, today. Modern self-care avoids death. It focuses on longevity hacks, anti-aging routines, health optimization, as if death can be delayed indefinitely. But the Stoic knows, death is inevitable, uncertain, and closer than you think. And this awareness, this daily confrontation with mortality, is the most powerful self-care practice there is. Because when you remember you will die, trivial fears evaporate, petty concerns dissolve. You stop wasting time on what doesn't matter. You stop procrastinating. You stop tolerating toxic relationships. You stop delaying important conversations. You stop living for an imaginary future that may never come. Seneca wrote in On the Shortness of Life. It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it. Memento mori journaling is Stoic self-care because it forces you to live intentionally, to use your time wisely, to become the person you want to be today. Here's the problem this solves. The 95% live as if they're immortal. They postpone what matters. They say, someday I'll, and when I retire I'll, and eventually I'll. And then they die, full of regrets, with words unsaid, with dreams unfulfilled, with years wasted on resentment, fear, and distraction. But the 5% who practice memento mori journaling daily, they live urgently, intentionally, fully, because they know this might be the last time, this conversation, this moment, this day. Here's how to practice this tonight. First, get a physical journal. Open to a blank page. Write today's date at the top. Second, write this prompt. If I died tonight, would I be proud of how I lived today? Third, answer honestly. Did you act with courage? With kindness? With discipline? Or did you waste time? Avoid difficulty? Live reactively? Fourth, write. If I wake up tomorrow, I will. Then list 3 specific actions you'll take, 3 ways you'll live better, 3 choices aligned with who you want to be. 5th, before you sleep, read what you wrote. Carry it into tomorrow. This practice does something profound. It removes the luxury of delay. It forces you to act as if time is limited, because it is. Weak people live as if they have forever. Strong people live as if they have today. Weak people postpone becoming who they want to be. Strong people choose it now. You don't have time to waste on fear, resentment, or procrastination. You have today. Maybe. Use it. But even with urgency, there's a 5th habit that most people avoid because it requires admitting imperfection. Let's move to habit 5. Habit 5. Daily philosophical reflection. Ask what you did wrong and what you'll do better. Seneca wrote in On Anger, Book 3, 36. I will keep constant watch over myself, and most usefully will put each day up for review. The 5th Stoic self-care habit is this. Every night, review your day. Ask 3 questions. What did I do well? What did I do poorly? What will I improve tomorrow? This is philosophical reflection, not self-flagellation, not toxic self-criticism. Honest assessment for growth. Modern self-care tells you to affirm yourself, to focus only on positives, to avoid dwelling on mistakes. You're perfect as you are, don't be so hard on yourself. But this creates stagnation. If you never identify your flaws, you never improve them. The Stoic practices rigorous self-examination, not to punish, but to refine, to become better, to close the gap between who you are and who you could be. Marcus Aurelius wrote in Meditations, Book 10, 9, "This is the mark of perfection of character, to spend each day as if it were your last, without frenzy, laziness, or pretense." Perfection isn't achieved through self-delusion. It's achieved through honest self-assessment and disciplined correction. This is true self-care, caring enough about your character to fix what's broken. Here's the problem this solves. The 95% never improve because they never look at themselves honestly. They blame others, they make excuses, they avoid accountability. They repeat the same mistakes, losing their temper, procrastinating, people-pleasing, reacting emotionally, because they never stop to ask, why do I keep doing this? What pattern am I stuck in? But the 5% who practice daily philosophical reflection, they evolve, they catch their patterns, they course correct before small mistakes become permanent flaws. Here's how to practice this tonight. First, before bed, sit with your journal. Write these 3 questions. Question 1. What did I do well today? List 2 to 3 specific moments where you acted with virtue, courage, wisdom, justice, temperance. Question 2. What did I do poorly today? List 2 to 3 specific moments where you failed your principles, where you reacted instead of responded, where you chose comfort over discipline. Question 3. What will I do differently tomorrow? For each failure, write a specific correction. Not vague promises, I'll be better, but concrete actions. When X happens, I will do Y instead. Second, read your answers out loud. Speak them into existence. Third, carry tomorrow's corrections into the next day. When the same situation arises, apply what you learned. This nightly practice creates exponential growth because you're learning from every mistake instead of repeating it. Weak people make the same mistakes for decades. Strong people make new mistakes because they learned from the old ones. Weak people defend their flaws. Strong people identify and fix them. You are not your mistakes, but you become your mistakes if you refuse to examine them. But even with reflection, there's a 6th habit that 95% avoid because it requires social courage. Let's move to Habit 6. Habit 6. Practicing brutal honesty. Say the difficult truth, even when it's uncomfortable. Marcus Aurelius wrote in Meditations, Book 9. 1. Injustice is impiety. The universe is a whole. To act against it is to injure yourself. The 6th Stoic self-care habit is this: speak the truth, always. Even when it costs you comfort, approval, or social acceptance. This is the practice of Stoic honesty, and it's the most socially dangerous habit on this list. Modern self-care tells you to avoid conflict, keep the peace, don't rock the boat, protect your mental health by avoiding difficult conversations. But this creates internal rot. Because when you silence your truth, you betray yourself. You tolerate disrespect because you're afraid of confrontation. You say yes when you mean no because you fear rejection. You laugh at jokes that disgust you because you want to fit in. And every time you do this, you erode your self-respect. You teach yourself, my truth doesn't matter, my boundaries are negotiable, I am weak. The Stoic knows, true self-care requires speaking truth even when it's hard. Especially when it's hard. Epictetus taught, if you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid. This is self-care, protecting your integrity by refusing to lie to others or to yourself. Here's the problem this solves. The 95% suffer in silence because they're terrified of conflict. They tolerate toxic relationships, unfulfilling jobs, disrespect, dishonesty. They stay quiet when they should speak. They smile when they should confront. They nod when they should object. And this silence creates internal anguish, because their external life doesn't match their internal truth. But the 5% who practice brutal honesty daily, they're free, because they say what they mean what they say. Their life aligns with their values. Here's how to practice this tomorrow. First, identify one truth you've been avoiding, one difficult conversation, one boundary you need to state, one opinion you've suppressed. Second, speak it, calmly, clearly, without apology, not with aggression but with unwavering honesty. This doesn't work for me. I disagree. I need you to stop doing that. I've been dishonest with you. Here's the truth. Third, accept the consequences. Some people will be uncomfortable. Some will reject you. Let them. This is the cost of integrity. Fourth, notice what happens internally. You feel lighter, clearer, stronger, because you honored yourself. This is Stoic self-care, protecting your character by refusing to compromise your truth. Weak people lie to avoid discomfort and suffer internally. Strong people speak truth despite discomfort and live free. Weak people sacrifice integrity for approval. Strong people sacrifice approval for integrity. You cannot care for a self you're constantly betraying. Honesty is how you honor who you are. But there's one final habit, the hardest one, the one the 95% will never do. Let's move to Habit 7. Habit 7. Serving something beyond yourself. Contribute, create, build for others. Marcus Aurelius wrote in Meditations, Book 6. 30. Whatever is in any way beautiful hath its source of beauty in itself, and is complete in itself. Praise forms no part of it. The 7th and final Stoic self-care habit is this: care for yourself by serving something greater than yourself. Contribute to others, build something meaningful, create value beyond your own comfort. This is the most counterintuitive self-care practice, and it's the one that separates true fulfillment from empty indulgence. Modern self-care is entirely self-focused. Put yourself first, prioritize your needs, set boundaries against anyone who asks anything of you. But this creates a hollow life, because humans aren't fulfilled by consumption. we're fulfilled by contribution. The Stoics understood. You care for yourself by becoming someone worth being, and you become someone worth being by serving something beyond yourself. Seneca wrote in Letters to Lucilius, Letter 9, "No man can live happily who regards himself alone, who turns everything to his own advantage. You must live for another if you would live for yourself." This is the paradox. True self-care requires getting outside yourself. Here's the problem this solves. The 95% are trapped in self-absorption. They optimize their routine, they indulge their comfort, they focus entirely on their own feelings, needs, and desires. And they're miserable, because self-focused life is empty. It's consuming without creating, taking without giving. It's a black hole that never fills. But the 5% who serve something beyond themselves, they're fulfilled. Because they've connected to something larger. They've built, they've contributed, they matter. Here's how to practice this starting today. First, identify one way you can contribute. Not for recognition, not for reward, just because it needs doing. Mentor someone younger, volunteer your time, create something valuable and share it freely. Help a neighbor, teach a skill. Build something that outlasts you. Second, make it a regular practice. Weekly minimum, monthly isn't enough. Contribution must be habitual, not occasional charity. Third, do it without needing praise. The Stoic serves because it's right, not because it's rewarded. Fourth, notice what happens internally. You feel purposeful, connected, grounded, because you're participating in something larger than your own comfort. This is the ultimate Stoic self-care. You strengthen your character by using it for others. Weak people focus only on themselves and wonder why they're empty. Strong people serve others and discover they're full. Weak people consume endlessly and remain hollow. Strong people create constantly and become whole. You cannot build a meaningful life focused only on yourself. You must transcend yourself to find yourself. These are the 7 habits. But you need to understand something before we close. These habits don't work if you do them once. They work if you become them. Let me show you what I mean. Let's bring this together. You've learned 7 Stoic self-care habits the 95% will never practice. Habit 1. Daily voluntary discomfort. Train pain tolerance before life demands it. Habit 2. Negative visualization practice. Losing everything to appreciate what you have. Habit 3. Dichotomy of control. Audit, release what you can't control, own what you can. Habit 4. Memento mori. Journaling, write as if today is your last. Habit 5. Daily philosophical reflection. Ask what you did wrong and what you'll do better. Habit 6. Practicing brutal honesty. Say the difficult truth, even when uncomfortable. Habit 7. Serving something beyond yourself. Contribute, create, build for others. These aren't trendy wellness practices. These are disciplines that forge unbreakable character. The 95% will read this list and do nothing, because these habits are uncomfortable. They require discipline, they demand honesty, they force growth. But the 5%, the ones who become mentally unbreakable, emotionally resilient, and spiritually grounded, they'll choose one habit and start tomorrow. So here's your challenge. Pick one habit, just one. Practice it every day for 7 days. Don't try to do all 7. Master one first, then add the next. Because true self-care isn't about doing more. It's about becoming more. It's not about comfort. It's about character. It's not about feeling good today. It's about being strong for life. If this video challenged you, if it revealed something you've been avoiding, tap the like button. That tells me this matters, that it's worth creating more of. Drop your commitment in the comments. Which of the 7 habits will you start tomorrow? Be specific, make it public, make it real. And if you're ready for unapologetic Stoic truth every single week, no fluff, no comfort, just discipline that transforms, subscribe to this channel. New videos every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. This is Stoivana. This is the path. Become the master of your mind, rebuild your character, refocus your discipline, rise above the 95%. The weak practice self-care through escape. The strong practice self-care through endurance. The weak indulge their fragility. The strong forge their resilience. You are not glass, you are steel, but you must be tempered by fire to discover this. 7 habits, daily practice, 1 life. You know what to do. Rise.